Took a little bit of a break. We're back though. Today's show is sponsored by Cray Cares. Now, Cray Cares is a foundation that we started. It's a huge culture of our business. We like to give back to local communities, either clubs or kids events nationwide. So if you guys need help with any kids event nationwide, we love giving sample packs away that you can hand out. Last year, we ended up the year with 170,000 packs to give away. Hallelujah. All thanks to you guys and your generous gifts and sales. Continuing the spirit of giving, we had Mr. Carl, Big Daddy Bachtel. He contacted us on our group chat, and he said that the Medina Raptor Center, which from what I understand is a local kind of birds of prey sanctuary, and they help rehabilitate and reintroduce creatures of the air back to the wild. But they're in need of food, fish. So what a cooler opportunity here to start off the year in giving back, to go out, catch some fish for these birds, and drop them off there at the Medina Raptor Center, and we're going to take you along for the ride. There's a pipe I know that's downtown Alliance area. It's a community hole, and there's a warm water discharge there. I've talked about it before on this channel, and I have a feeling the gills are going to be biting, maybe some smaller crappies over there. So we might pick some up for the birds, throw them in a trash bag or something, freeze them for them, and take them down there. Let's give back. Let's go. Let's go. So where we're going here is going to be a section of the Mahoning River. It's right where it connects into Lake Berlin here in Northeast Ohio. And like I mentioned earlier, there's a warm water discharge pipe. So if you guys have those in your area, like water treatment plants, areas where they're literally sucking water, either to use it as a cooling agent for cooling like processes. A lot of areas will literally take water out of rivers. They'll use it as a cooling process, and then they'll reintroduce it back into the river filtered. In this case, it's used as the water treatment plant. So all of the toilet flushes, you know, they go through a pipe, they go to our local city water treatment plant. It all gets filtered out and used for compost and etc. Probably methane for CNG gases to power our local city buses. And then the rest of the water that's then filtered out gets put back into the river filtered, and it comes out warmer. It just got done running through like a whole pipeline and all this, so it tends to be much warmer than the temperature of the water naturally if it's a colder day out like today. So because fish are like us and they like the warmth a little bit better than the cold, chances are we're gonna find some sort of fish hanging out around that pipe. We're gonna see. We're almost there. Stick around. Let's go. We didn't name this mission. I think we're gonna name this Project Eagle. On a side note, if you guys are looking for some really awesome winter gear, winter outerwear, I don't know if you guys have seen my last video. I'll put a link down in the description below, but Striker brands, warm stuff. Ain't gonna go wrong with a Striker suit. Get you one. So this particular spot is a little bit of a hike, but it's not too bad. I don't know, maybe quarter mile or something down here around the bend. We got a coyote den here somewhere. There's a bunch of coyote tracks. Look at that, pretty crazy. Now I'm fishing still micro, guys, so I'm using a 4mm Cray Sub-Zero tungsten jig head, and that is a candy corn micro minnow. That's a 1-inch little stinger style bait. I'm gonna run it 1.5 feet deep and then use one of these little Cray casting floats that we have. See what happens. Now I brought my 6-foot micro today. This here is the Lures Pro Cray series. This is the gold version. The gold is the 6-foot. It's a 500 series reel. I have it strung up with the 4-pound crazy crappie line. Real light ice tip presentation, real lightweight. I've had decent luck right here because of this dip. If you notice the contour of the bank, it's much deeper on this side, and so that contour continues into the water, and I've had some good luck off this little deep wall. We're gonna give it a shot, see what happens, and then we'll go down to the pipe if worst case. All I'm doing here too is just kind of letting the river do the work. You know, these things are lethargic, they're cold. The temperature is probably early 30s right now in Northeast Ohio. Every once in a while I might give it a little pop or something just to kind of make it alive. Oh, we got a bite, we got a chaser. Fish on, first fish on. What do we have? We have a perch. Hey, the eagles will appreciate that. This is a beautiful little perchky. Check him out. Look at that thing. Beautiful. Orange fins there. One in the bucket for the eagles. Hey, if we load up on perch, I wouldn't mind that. That'd be fun. I came down for gills, but hey, if perch are in here, we'll take them. Now, the way I guess they want these fish is frozen, so I have a deep freezer at the house. I'm just gonna throw them in a bag and then freeze them, and then we'll take them down there to the Raptor Center for them. Another hit. Now, Rick, you mean to tell me you're not using live bait at all? No, sir, I'm not. No live bait. We're just casting it out, letting the river do the work, and it's dragging them down. There's another perch right there, boys and girls. Now, for this river, that's about average, but there it is. There are no size limitations here in Ohio on perch in this particular body of water, so we will take as many as we can. Pop, pop, pippity pop. That is the pipe that I talked about earlier that has the warm water discharge right over there. I don't know if you can see it in the distance, but roughly right here, that's where the warmer water is coming out. So that's going to be a much better spot here as the temperature tends to decline. A lot of cities, a lot of places have those. You just got to really dig into it and try to find them. Once you find it, it tends to be a good spot, at least in the colder weathers. We'll try this spot for a little bit, and then we'll get closer to the pipe if we don't get any more here. Now, these pops that I got going here too, you don't want them hugely dramatic. Just little itty bitty pops, like from my hand. That's all I'm doing. Like the tip of the rod, because it's a micro, looks like it's really flying, but from my hand, I'm really just barely moving my hand up to just add a little bit of a popping action to that float. Here we go. Little bite. Take it. Thank you. There he is. Oh, he came off. He came off. Oh, look what he did. He ripped the tail of my little minnow off there. She's still got life. Let's throw her back on there. There we go. You know they're cold when they're short striking. Short striking is when they don't go for the full bait. They just get the very end. We're getting smaller, people. We're getting smaller. Considering this particular lake is overpopulated with perch, and keeping smaller perch helps, and the effort, we're going to take whatever we get here as far as perch and bluegill is concerned. There's one. All right, there we go. Now, the reason these perch don't get very big in this lake is because there's so many small ones. And that's true for really a lot of species. They tend to stunt themselves. And so when there's a lot of competition like that for food and they're smaller, they don't tend to grow that big. So by taking out some of the small stuff for a good cause, hey, we're actually helping this population here too. It's a double whammy, baby. Change of elevation, I sat down. The old back just isn't what it used to be, you know what I mean? I've said this before also many times, but you know, as desire to catch the biggest fish in the lake has dwindled. I mean, it's fun, obviously. You catch a big fish, it's always fun. But I get just as much satisfaction nowadays of coming over here and catching dinky perch and bluegill, regardless of the cause. It's a lot of fun. I would encourage you to check it out. If you get yourself a super micro rod, much like this Cray Lures Pro here,
link in description,
the smaller fish actually feel really, really nice on it. So you can get a real small bluegill feeling like a 4-pound bass on a micro rod. It's a lot of fun. Keep your drag nice and loose, and you catch a lot more too. Oh, I missed him. That sly dog. I use tungsten typically this time of year because the fish tend to be a little deeper than normal. Now, in this particular application, obviously depth is not hugely critical because I'm fishing like a little river, you know? And I got a lot of space in between my bait and my float. Then I want to use tungsten to drop down a lot quicker. There's another one. They're getting smaller, guys. They're getting smaller. What is going on? Hey, shout out to Striker and their new boots. These guys are super warm. I believe they're 1200 thinsulate, and these babies keeping my feet nice and warm. Check them out at strikerbrands.com. There's one. Oh my goodness, they are getting smaller. Now this guy deserves the right to go back. I'm not keeping that little guy. back he goes. I forgot my slime rag.
Ew.
The only thing we don't want to catch today is a big catfish or a big pike. They are in here, and if that be the case, we might have a real rough time getting in on this micro. I did catch a catfish doing this one time, and with this rod here, and it was a task. Let's just say that. You just can't boat flip them. That's the important thing to know. You got to get down low and get that fish out of the water manually. You can't rely on the rod or the backbone of a rod on a micro to flip a big fish like that, or you're gonna break something. Still alive, still working. If you guys have an interest in snagging any of the baits or gear that I'm using today, I'm gonna put links right down in the description for you to make it nice and easy. You can get all this at castcray.com, but I'll put the actual link in for each product below. What seems to have been working is I'm doing some real vigorous pops like this. And by vigorous, I mean, look at my hand. It's barely moving. Obviously, remember that micro tip looks like it's going ham. Looks like I'm really jerking, almost like a jerk bait or something, but the fact of the matter is I'm barely moving this on my hand. And then I'm just kind of going back and forth with it and letting it pause. And on that pause is when they've been hitting. I just missed one, by the way, and it was another dink. Super dink, that is. Pop, 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 pause. There he goes. Figured out a little pattern. Once you figure out a little pattern of what they like, seems like we're having to tease them a little more than typical. So pop, 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 pop with a tease, and then a pause, and then they're wanting to hit it. Like I was saying, when you find out that pattern, it's just step and repeat at that point. There he is. That feels a little bit better. We'll take it. Hey, hey, hey. If you want to comment below perch, that would be awesome. I appreciate you. Oh, we just missed her. We just missed one. There's one. Dang, that was another small one. Dude, these things are small. We're in the nursery, boys. Crazy how small some of these are. It'd be really cool in a fish tank, though. There's one. Hey, perchki. We found the micro perch, y'all. We found the micro perch. Oh, I'm getting hit already. Find a little pocket of them over there or something. Before we leave here in a little bit, I want to go down to that pipe and see if there's any gills that we can stack up on. Oh, there's one. Oh, he got off. He's a blueguinea. That's a bluegill. That's a Houdini. For those that didn't get that, a dang blueguinea. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. Ah, I can't keep him. Look at that little dude. Look at that beautiful little fish. Let's go down there a little bit. Well, we went over here to the pipe. We've been catching bluegills. We were just trying to go live on TikTok and Facebook, and unfortunately, our connection out here is not great. So we're back to doing a pre-recorded show. So this will show up on YouTube, obviously. My YouTubers know that because they're here watching it. But we'll be sharing it on Facebook as well. There's another bluegill here. So yeah, we're back for another round of catching fish here for these birds. Man, this guy's all muddy, dude. I'm gonna have to rinse these bad boys off. They're muddier than mud. Water is down so much that you have to kind of drag them across the sandy bank just to get them up on the shore, especially from where I'm fishing. So they seem to be stacked right at that pipe. You can see, even if you look close, you'll see like blacker water. That's actually not black, it's really clear. And it's showing as black because everything else is brown around it. But that is clear, like filtered-ish water coming off of the warm water discharge from the plant. If you can get it in that warm water, it's almost a guaranteed fish every time. Look at that. Look at that. There's a bluegie. Nice one. The eagles will be satisfied. Another one. Boom. Back to back. I mean, they're stacked in there. It's just thick. The only thing that stinks is I wish I could get over to that other side without falling or breaking my neck. But I'm sure this sand is pretty loose. Yes, it is. Ugh, no thank you. I can see myself getting stuck in that. Matter of fact, my buddy Dave got stuck in that crap once. Shout out to Dave. Fish on. Oh, missed him. I missed him. These spots are a real gem, man. I mean, you can find them in pretty urban environments too. So they end up being really good spots in the cities. I know there's a plethora of them down in the Ohio River too. And we've had really good, really good luck on any of these discharge pipes that you can find. Oh, another one, there we go. Yeah, the gills are stacked at this pipe. God dang it. Casting it right in that pipe, man. That outflow almost every time. Boom, immediately. No live bait. Just a plastic on with a 4 mil tungsten head. That's all you need. Boom, there he is. Got him. A lot of fun, man. We could sit here for hours catching fish. Oh, he got off right there at the bank. You lucky booger. You're a lucky booger. There he goes. I'll tell you what, friends, we got enough for today. We're gonna actually pack up. We're gonna call the Medina Raptor Center and see how they'd like us to deliver these on what day, and then see if we can't bring you guys along. It's pretty cool. I think we're gonna learn a lot about the Raptor Center too, see if they'll let us film maybe. We'll go from there. Let's see if they let us. Stand by.